Welcome to Comics United. This is Chris Collins.
This is Christian Brassfield.
I'd like to remind everybody that we're running a contest right now to have a guest show on our podcast. And the details are you basically send a comic-related photo. It could be you wearing a cosplay outfit. It could be you holding a comic book. It could be anything you want. And if you send us that photo or whatever it happens to be to thecomicsunited@gmail.com, we will be running this for another 3 weeks, or is it 2, Christian?
I believe it's 3.
Another 3 weeks, and then we'll have the people on our Facebook page choose a winner. Once the winner's chosen, they get to be a guest on our podcast for the day, and or for one of our shows, and they get to pick the topic that night.
Yeah. Also, thank you for all of you that have just stuck around watching our videos. This is episode 3. There's more to come. Next couple of months, we have a big surprise for you guys. It's pretty big. It's already up. Well, Chris, why don't we, give a little teaser?
Yeah, let's give them a little teaser. Basically, we're dedicated to adding the fans' enjoyment to the comics and the comics universe. So in the next couple of months, as we continue working on our beta site, what we plan on rolling out is the available for our fans to be able to host their comic creations and artwork on our site. I don't want to talk about it too much until we get all the details worked out, but basically they'll have a site within our site.
Yeah. We may think it over after this video. We might put a link in the description. We might not. I don't know. You have to go down there and check. We don't know. Anyways, let's jump into this. This episode's about superheroes. Not just any superheroes, but the TV universes. The CW, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, the CBS Supergirl, Gotham, the Daredevil series, Jessica Jones, the upcoming series, just everything, mashed into one. We don't like to leave anybody out. We love DC and Marvel. We like to get a little bit of everything in there.
I actually like all of them. I've watched all of them. Flash is probably my favorite.
I can agree. It's hard to choose between Arrow and Flash, but I lean more towards Flash. Don't get me wrong. I like Legends of Tomorrow, but it's just it has the build up really to get into it.
Arrow's awesome. I just like Flash more. I also like Daredevil, Jessica Jones. That one's really hard to choose between because I like them both equally. I didn't think I'd like Jessica Jones at first, but something grew on me pretty fast.
Yeah, I like Daredevil. I haven't started season 2. I'm still episode 3 or 4 on the first season. Been so busy. I watched Jessica Jones. I'm also 4 or 5 episodes in that. I probably won't finish it. The second season will probably come out before I finish the first season. But it's pretty cool. Who doesn't like a hot chick who can literally get hit by a bus or a bullet and keep moving,
Yeah, I agree with that, except for probably you, and it would be Chris Pratt that you like more than
that. Okay. All right. Okay. Never living this down.
Nope.
Anyway, so Arrow is more grittier than Flash or any of them, really. I like that about it. When they did the crossover, he was more the serious type with Barry, when he was trying to show him the ropes and stuff. And, I liked it, but then he eased up a little. But, shooting somebody with multiple arrows, shooting at somebody with multiple arrows is kind of, pretty intense.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree.
But I like Flash. The aspect of it is more scientific and knowledgeable, and I like that. And also, Legends of Tomorrow is probably the most well-written, entertained, time travel and stuff. Because I like Doctor Who, and I think, time travel and all that, and doing what they do, what they're doing, and especially having what's the computer who can see the future?
I don't know her name, but she's supposed to be some sort of artificial intelligence from the future.
Yeah, Barry invented her, I believe. But I like how she, shows the future, how it's going to be messed up, and then they have to go and fix it Supergirl, on the other hand, haven't had a chance to watch it.
I okay, so Supergirl was one of those shows that in the beginning it started out really slow. By about the third episode, I was hooked. Um, I thought it was a little cheesy. They did a Flash crossover, and I thought that was a little cheesy at first, but that episode kind of warmed up on me too. But yeah, it's a pretty good series. And then there's Agent Shields and Agent Carter. I haven't really got to see Agent Carter yet. Agents of Shield, I watch avidly when I can.
Funny that you mentioned that. Gotham is on Fox. CW has its own thing going on. CBS has, Supergirl. I mean, they're doing crossovers. Like you told me, Supergirl is like what in another universe from Flash. Spoiler alert.
Right. Flash travels across the multiverse to her world.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe what if they did a crossover with like all of them
That would be pretty
together
awesome.
with like Gotham? I mean, what if like Flash ran to the future and met Batman, and then you know went back to regular time and saw Batman as a child and I mean, it'd be kind of like a mind bending thing basically, but
The only thing about that is Gotham's more of an origin story. So yeah, Bruce is a character in it, but it's more about James Gordon and how he rises up in the police force and gets his hands dirty and revives himself. And it kind of introduces, I guess, is it Ivy? Not Ivy. What is the girl's name with curly hair?
uh Oracle, is it Oracle? No,
No.
oh, Cat.
Yeah,
uh
Cat. I don't know if she's going to be actually Catwoman or if that's what they're going for with that. Seems like it. They also play up the villains a whole lot more on Gotham than this is all about their heyday.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. It's so much different, there's a there's a difference between a good origin story and then the real deal, like the Flash and Arrow, where they have the origin story, but they're coming into the hero themselves, kind of like Bruce Wayne is. But I mean, we won't see him as Batman for another 8 years probably.
Yeah, at least 8.
I mean, I don't know how young they can look in the future on the Flash and stuff, unless they do like some kind of Justice League thing.
You
I'd
know,
like to see
it's
that.
funny you should mention that because in the beginning of me watching that, he was my least favorite character on the show.
Bruce.
Yeah, as a kid, he's really annoying. But he grew on me within the first season. But at first, I just couldn't get over how annoying of an actor they chose for to play him.
Well, I'm sure he was. I mean, he was a rich kid, also only child. I mean, you know, but maybe Whiny was better. Maybe. I mean, there's characters on the Flash I didn't like. I didn't like. I mean, not the Flash on Arrow that I didn't like. I didn't like his sister. I totally hated her like so much, and his mom. I hated all. I didn't like them that much. Maybe it was just their attitude, the way they. I don't know, but maybe he grows into a better man. I mean, Alfred becomes his father and teaches him how to become a better man, but also he becomes Batman, Hopefully they'll show him getting trained by the League of Shadows,
That would be
hopefully,
great. That would be really great. But see,
like as soon as he gets into his teens, they're,
unless they do one of these annoying fast forward episodes where one season he's a child and the next season he's 25 or something, I don't see them being able to explore that on this show.
To a certain degree they can do that. I mean, that's the difference between movies and TV shows, They can show increments of 5 minutes of him being a kid into turning into the man, kind of like Daredevil. They
Right.
did it right for a TV show, uh, rewinding to where he was a kid and his father was a boxer. Uh, just stuff like that. I mean, in the movie Daredevil, let's travel back to 2003. Um, they did the flashback in the movie, and then he grew up gradually.
Right. Right.
I just don't see how they could do that with a Batman origin story. That would kind of mess everything up.
With a lot of these productions, it seems like they rush things quite a bit. It seems like it takes 5, 6 episodes before you're really enjoying the series without picking out all the flaws in the acting and how they immerse themselves. Um, Case in point, BVS. Some, I mean, it could have been the best actors in the world with that storyline. I don't think that it gave us enough time to get used to that universe that he was creating. Um, so when they're doing this with these TV shows, they've got a lot more they've got a lot more room to make mistakes than they do in the movies.
Well, I feel that way too. It's just DC is coming in the. I mean, I know they've had shows, what, in the 40s.
Yeah,
You know, uh, it seems like they don't know how to do it right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a DC fan, but Marvel seems to know how to do the game. I mean, granted, they're bought out by Disney. I'm pretty sure by 2020, Disney will own every franchise in the world. But it seems like Marvel is doing it, I don't want to say better, but they're doing pretty good. I mean, they came in full force with Daredevil when Arrow was on, what, TV for 3, 4 years,
right,
and
right.
everybody just fell in love with Daredevil instantly. And it wasn't like a, maybe I like it, maybe I don't like it. It was, I instantly, dude, this is graphic. I love it. I want more. And that's what we got.
I've already started season 2, by the way. Daredevil season 2 looks like it's going to be great.
They said they weren't going to do a Punisher spinoff series. They're doing it now. People loved, what's his name? Uh, Dude from Walking Dead, John something, the guy who played the Punisher.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyways, his name is like John B or something. I don't know. But anyways, people fell in love with him as the Punisher, and apparently he's getting his own show. I can't wait for Luke Cage's own show, September 30th. I'm looking out for that. That might be a season I might finish in one day.
Out of the three shows I think did a decent job of not slipping into that awkward stage. Daredevil, for one, hardly any. By the first episode, I was hooked. Jessica Jones, she kind of covers it with being bitchy the first 2 episodes, and then she kind of slips into her role by the third episode. And then Arrow really didn't have that much. Um, I think it's because maybe Oliver Queen was on the island, and of course, his family was walking around like they didn't know what the hell was going on. But they really spent a lot of time on that storyline, I think.
Yeah, well, it's because most of the world is really more consumed with Marvel. I'm not saying comic book fans. I'm saying people who are not comic book fans are more consumed into Marvel movies and stuff, and they don't know really the origin, and they like to gradually go into it. But I felt the same way. Like I said, it feels like DC is taking a run head start with their head chopped off. The only DC show that caught my head by the first episode was Flash. I mean, it was totally incredible. I mean, not really breathtaking, but it caught my eye more than Arrow did.
Well, Candace Patton caught my eye a lot more on The Flash than Grant Gustin did, but I really like that show. I think maybe the first episode I wasn't sure about it, and by the second I was hooked.
Yeah,
Also,
same.
Danielle Panabaker playing Caitlin Snow, soon to be Killer Frost. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait. I I literally experience. I don't know about you guys, the audience. Comment if you do, but I literally every time something happens in real life, straight from the comic books to the TV, be it movie, I get nerdgasm basically. So it's like a tingle all over my body. It's weird. It happened today when I watched Star Wars for the fourth time on DVD.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Do you say the name Star Lord when that happens?
yeah. I just go Star Lord, Pratt, Chris Pratt. Back on subject. Candace is a classy, beautiful lady. Danielle is, a nerdy, know-it-all, beautiful girl, which nothing is wrong with that either. But I lean more towards Emily Vet Rickards, aka Felicity Smoke, or the chick who plays Hot Girl on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Hot Girl's pretty hot, and Felicity's pretty hot too.
Yeah.
The other one, Sarah on Katie Lots off of Legends Tomorrow, she's pretty hot.
Oh, is that the chick that's like the assassin kind of thing? She
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sniper and the guns and
yeah.
stuff.
She actually came from Arrow, of course.
Yeah.
She's the sister of the girl who works for the district attorney. The cop's her father, and she dies, and then they take her to this pit, Lazarus pit,
Lazarus Pit. Yeah.
and
Oh,
it
there it
revives
is.
her.
Crap. Sorry.
Right.
So, how many people have come back to life on Arrow?
I think only one.
Uh, I feel like nobody really dies. Oh, that one guy died. What was it? Oliver's best friend died, and then they had him come back, but he didn't really come back. It was just a flashback or whatever.
Right.
But anyways, back on track. Who do you think is doing better TV wise, DC or Marvel?
By sheer volume, it's DC with CW. Marvel is catching up really quick. We'll see. I hope they do a legitimate competition. It's a great time to be a comics fan. That's all I have to say.
It's a great day to be alive. Great words of Travis Tritt. Uh, anyway, I mean, I can't agree with you any more than I can. Marvel is coming up fast, almost too fast, to be honest. The universe, TV-wise, is bringing Jessica Jones, showing us we can have a decent Daredevil. Not saying that the 2003 wasn't bad. I mean, I was young when it came out. I was like 5 or 6. How old are you, Chris?
42.
Oh, I was going to say half a century. Um, I mean, Luke Cage coming in September 30th leads me to think Punisher is getting his own show, honestly.
The Punisher's definitely getting his own show. I mean, that's in the news right now. They're talking about it.
I mean, I knew they were in the talks, and previously I said they were, but I was just bullcrapping. I don't know. So they're literally doing Punisher.
Yeah. Or at least that's the rumor. I mean, with Netflix, it's really hard to get accurate news because, let me tell you, Netflix is like hitting it hard. Like they have in 5 years become a major producer of many shows. Basically, they're buying content from people. And we discussed one time. I think we actually got it's in our audio podcast, the one that we did, but it got cut out of our video podcast. There are actually 42 superhero shows in development right now.
I remember talking about that. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's more to come. I'm afraid that there's going to be a bubble. I'm afraid it's going to burst, and then all of a sudden we're going to lose out on a lot of good content, and it's going to be replaced by crap, and people are going to stop wanting to watch it.
I think that's what happened with Zack Snyder. I mean, not bashing, I'm being dead serious. If you are a movie lover, comic fan, Zack Snyder picked up a couple of hundred pieces of paper, went to the bathroom, and just wiped his butt with it.
Well, to be fair, he didn't write Batman versus Superman. He directed it. So as the director, it was his responsibility to choose a storyline that was better, in my opinion. I think he had more responsibility than the actual writers of it, because I'm sure what they wrote couldn't have been that drivel. How could you make it as a writer in Hollywood and turn out something as terrible as that storyline? Affleck's writing the script. Apparently, everybody who's read it loves it. So maybe we will get a decent Batman this the last part of this century. So the screenplay was written by Chris Terrero and David S. Goyer. It was directed by Zack Snyder.
I will be showing up at their doorstep soon.
Yeah.
With a picket fence.
You can get arrested for that.
Yeah. Did I mention I was going to be 500 yards away?
Here's the thought: are we ever going to see a movie where it pits Marvel and DC together?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I mean, on TV, like imagine this scenario: Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage are infected by a neurotoxin, and they go nuts and start harming people. And the only ones that can save the day are the Flash, Arrow, and the Legends of Tomorrow characters.
Is that how long would that be? I mean, that's very inventive, but Marvel and DC fans might, get united. You might could say the comics united.
This is true. This is true. So in Supergirl, they revealed Martian Manhunter hiding in plain sight as a federal agent. They've brought in the Bizarro Supergirl, and they did a Flash crossover. So they're doing some really inventive things, and it's going to be a real shame if it gets canceled. But I believe that it has been ordered up for season 2.
Yeah, there were rumors that I mean, it was on the verge of not. I mean, they were thinking on it. Honestly, my uncle is a big fan of all of them. He especially loves Supergirl. Um, he was sitting there like I would go to his house and he'd be sitting on his computer just Google. He's like, it can't be canceled. It can't be canceled. I mean, even though it isn't part of the CW universe, it had the lowest ratings. Right behind, right behind it is Legends of Tomorrow, which doesn't mean much, but we can't have another case of fireflies on our hand or Firefly. Sorry.
I read an article today that has said that even 15 years later, fans are still rallying behind Firefly, and they do. They still love it. And that is the kind of show that got canceled early because fans loved it, but the notice that fans loved it didn't get back to the studios in time before they made the decision to cancel the show.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, I've yet to see that show. Everybody says it's incredible, but what what about like origin stories? Kind of like Bruce. I mean, I know we can't really do any interesting superheroes because we have Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, what else can they do as an origin story?
Well, I mean, if they were going to do anything but an origin story with Gotham, it would have to run 9+ seasons. He's in his early teens. I don't even think Batman becomes Batman until he's in his 20s. So, like I said, it'd have to be run 9 seasons or more.
Yeah, I mean, it would piss a lot of people off if I mean, I think they should at least put a few Easter eggs showing, a so-called plane crash in Kansas covered up by, the government, letting the viewers know that Superman is at least there, you know.
It'd be
Uh,
awesome if young Superman or young Clark visited Gotham and got to meet Bruce Wayne at an early age. I mean, they're not really going canon with Gotham. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but they've went off the cuff before. That would be just tremendous for them to do.
I mean, the endless are possible, you know, there are endless possibilities, is what I'm trying to say. Cameos could be out the wazoo, Easter eggs. I'm sure the writers know exactly what they're doing. Um, will we ever see a Justice League TV series, Avengers maybe, Netflix, or some type of Legends of Tomorrow type deal?
Well, the Avengers maybe. Um, that would be easier to explain with the universe with the DC universe. We're lacking Superman as a TV show unless you go all the way back to Smallville, which would be amazing.
If Tom Welling came back.
Or or you're also going to have to find Batman. The Justice League's not the Justice League's without.
Well, like you said, CBS is a different universe. Maybe this can be a different Batman, a different time.
That's how they could do it. They could do it as a crossover.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be amazing if Tom Welling came back.
If Tom Welling came back, the TV network itself would crash. Nobody would know what to do. Nobody would know who to call. I mean,
They
what's going
could
to
do.
happen?
They could do like a what is it? How long ago did Smallville go off?
2011.
2011. So they do like a 8 years later, and he's an adult reporter, and he's been in hiding for all this time, and
Dude,
then
that just
they pick up with Tom Welling as Superman as an adult. That would be amazing.
I just don't. I mean, if the Justice League would literally bring back Tom Welling as Superman, it would be absolutely perfect,
He hands
honestly.
down do better than Henry Cavill, which I like Henry Cavill as Superman, but he would, for me, Smallville was one of those shows that, for whatever reason, captured the essence of Superman's youth completely. And I may get some flack for saying this, but I think he would have made a better Superman than Christopher Reeve.
Oh, oh. Now, there's such thing as the nerdgasm, and there's such thing as faking a nerdgasm. I almost had to fake it, but I'm not going to. What? Why did you just say that?
Because I believe it.
You believe
I never really liked Christopher Reeve.
blasphemy? What? Uh, whoa! Testify or tell me why.
I don't know. I really don't. It also annoyed me who they had playing Lois Lane back in the day.
What?
I
What about
realize you watch these movies 20 years later and you go, ooh, the great movie, da 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 da. They were good movies, but I think they could have. Now, Gene Hackman, he nailed Lex Luthor. I will say that. But, yeah.
what? I mean, what? You better not say anything about my, Linda Carter.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say anything about Linda Carter.
We will have a backlash.
Hey, the
Uh,
backlash is your girlfriend is going to get annoyed that you keep mentioning Linda Carter.
Back in her heyday, man. If I was,
Back in her heyday, I'd do her today.
yeah, you ain't kidding. I mean, continue on. um, I think. I mean, if we don't have Wonder Woman, if we want to talk about Justice League, we don't
So we don't have
have a
Wonder
Wonder
Woman, we don't
Woman.
have Batman or Aquaman.
Well, true.
Unless
I
they're going
mean,
to do movie stars on TV.
there's endless possibilities. We can go back and, Hot Girl could take Wonder Woman's place. But people wouldn't go for that. Batman is still too young. Marvel has set up, you know, Marvel better set up, defenders or better groups, at least. I mean, they'd have a few seasons to go, which, I mean, I could understand. I could see them going 3 to 4 seasons for each show before they merge. I mean, I could see crossovers, definitely, most definitely, because Jessica Jones did a spinoff Luke Cage, so definite spinoffage happening. Um, I mean, there's endless possibilities, really. And this is what people want to see. They want to see more Flash crossovers. They want to see more Arrow crossovers. I want John Constantine, wherever how I say his name, I want him to come back. There's talks of him coming back to Legends of Tomorrow. If he comes back, Tom Welling better come back.
Right, right. Well, thank you for watching the third episode of the Comics United. Please like us on Facebook. Also, why don't you come to our page and look at www.thecomicsunited.com. We'll have regular articles that we're posting, and we're starting to get a pretty good member base. The site has a lot of social features, a forum, and groups. Please come and help us build it out while we're in beta.
Yeah. Um, Next episode, join us as we embark on Charles Xavier School for the Gifted Youngsters. See you next time.
See you next time.